Should have left when I told you to. Get out of my sight! This is my home. You can't do this. Look at her cry. Pathetic.
They laughed while throwing the elderly couple out. Rain soaked the cardboard boxes as Martha begged them to stop, her voice drowned by the cruel amusement. Neighbors filmed the HOA chair smirking, treating the humiliation like a spectator sport. Then, a sleek, black car rolled up, slow and silent. A tall man stepped out, his eyes a chilling gray, cold enough to freeze the water pooling on the street. No one knew yet who he was, but the moment he spoke, the laughter died. Before we go any further, we'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. Your support means the world to us and it helps us bring you even more powerful stories of poetic justice and underdog comebacks. Also, drop a comment below and let us know where you're watching from. Now, let's begin. You know that feeling when a place looks perfect from the gate? Then the air shifts the second you step in. That was Maplewood Estates. Trim hedges, glassy ponds, and smiles that held only until James and Martha turned away. He rubbed his aching knee. She carried plant cuttings. Their porch finally smelled like rain and peace. Karen Whitmore found them before the moving boxes cooled. Clipboard to her chest, chin tilted like the sun belonged to her alone. Welcome. Standards matter here, she said, scanning their pots like a customs officer. Martha nodded politely. James thanked her. By twilight, a note waited in the mailbox, keep it tidy. No eyes. Across the street, a neighbor whispered, they won't last. Morning brought eggshells on the fence, not smashed, but placed like a dare. James swept. Martha hummed to cut the silence. From their window, voices drifted, saw the van. Bet they rent. Look at that rug. Wrong color. Laughter clipped the air. They tried to fit in. House numbers polished. Porch light swapped to the HOA's soft white. Martha set a bowl for a stray cat. By noon, it was gone. In its place, a badge that read, violation. James drove a city bus for decades and memorized faces like songs. Martha fed children for years and learned to spot hunger under jokes. One night in slanting rain, years ago, they found a crying boy behind a grocery store, pale hair plastered to his head, no shoes. They wrapped him in James's coat and took him home. They named him Ethan. This new home, Maplewood, was meant to be their quiet ending. The storm, however, followed. Karen returned with a smile that shone and didn't warm. A friendly reminder, she said. Trash cans out of sight. Lawn under 2 inches. Decorative items must be approved. That night, as the fridge hummed, Martha spread seed packets, touching each like a promise. James traced the map in the welcome packet, pausing at a dotted square labeled, community storage. Who keeps the key? He muttered. A shadow slid past the window. Martha's breath caught. Why were strangers pacing their grass at midnight? Why did the security camera ping but show no faces? Orientation felt staged. Lemon cleaner, folding chairs, a slideshow of community values. 2 days later, lawn height exceeded. James measured 2 inches exactly. He trimmed anyway. A golf cart idled, board members filming. Documentation, one said. Next. Porch rug. Unapproved tone. Martha photographed the neutral weave, attached a receipt, and hit send. Auto reply only. At dusk, a clink behind the hydrangeas. James found a solar light he didn't own, stake muddy. When he turned, Karen stood at the fence, serene as glass. Those look familiar, she said. They're not ours, he answered. Then you won't mind if I catalog them. Photo. Tight smile. Saturday. 3 knocks sharp. Karen and 2 board members on the porch, a security guard hovering. Notice of non-compliance, Karen announced. We'll conduct a courtesy inspection. She stepped in without waiting. In the garage, a cardboard box sat by the water heater. That's not ours, Martha frowned. Karen lifted the lid, 2 more solar lights, a chipped garden statue, copper house numbers. Unfortunate, she said, latex gloves snapping. Flash. Flash. Across the street, neighbors coalesced. Heard they steal yard stuff. Martha's breath thinned. We do not take, she said. James met the guard's stare. This is a plant. By afternoon, an email arrived, hearing set, potential termination of residency Monday. Evidence attached, photos. Inventory. Theft. Martha laid proof on the table, mower invoice, rug photo, receipts. But Monday was worse. The hearing wasn't in a courtroom, but the clubhouse, rows of folding chairs facing Karen and her board, sitting like judges. James stood, voice steady. We've done nothing wrong. Someone put those items there. Laughter rippled through the room. Karen tapped her pen. This isn't about feelings. It's about facts. You have 24 hours to vacate. The words landed like stones. Crown the underdog comeback. Outside, the sky cracked open. Rain fell fast. But home was where movers already waited. The HOA had expedited the process. Furniture was dragged across the wet grass. Neighbors filmed, treating the scene as entertainment. When Martha tripped trying to lift a box, someone chuckled. The sound hit Ethan first. The sleek black car pulled up. The rain slowed as if the air recognized him. The tall man stepped out, his expression unreadable. His eyes moved from the shattered chair to the trembling hands that had once taught him to tie his shoes. Mama, his voice barely carried. Martha froze. Ethan. Gasps spread through the bystanders. That's Ethan Carter, the tech guy. No way. He's worth billions. Karen blinked. Oh, Mr. Carter, if I'd known. He didn't answer. He turned to his father. They did this to you? James nodded. Ethan exhaled, calm but sharp. All right, he said, pulling out his phone. Then we'll start with a phone call. Gerald, it's Ethan. Buy out Maplewood Estates, all of it. And transfer ownership to Carter Holdings effective today. Karen's face drained. That's not possible. You can't just. He looked at her, his voice even colder. Ma'am, you just threw my parents out of their own neighborhood. Watch me. The laughter that had filled the street dissolved into silence. Ethan's assistant arrived within the hour with signed transfer papers. Maplewood Estates now belong to Carter Holdings. You all now work under my management, Ethan said evenly. Karen forced a brittle smile. Mr. Carter, surely we can come to an understanding. We already have, he tilted his head. You will draft a public apology, reimburse every fine you imposed, and resign today. The same neighbors who'd stood silent now looked almost afraid of their own complicity. James rested a hand on Martha's shoulder, watching justice unfold. Martha whispered, Ethan, you didn't have to do this. Yes, I did, he glanced at her. Because power means nothing if you can't use it to protect the people who gave it to you. Ethan didn't just save a home, he restored the meaning of family and respect. He smiled faintly for the cameras. They raised me, fed me, taught me decency. Everything I am began in their small kitchen. Today was just me giving a fraction of it back. Security escorted Karen and the board away. The movers carried every piece back inside, carefully, heads bowed. The air changed, no longer thick with humiliation, but something lighter, respectful. A week later, Maplewood Estates felt like a different planet. Ethan turned the HOA office into a free community library. At sunset, Martha watched children ride bikes where gossip once lived. James chuckled, holding a mug on the porch. Guess peace came in a black Rolls-Royce. Ethan leaned back. People think success is about what you build, but it's really about who built you. Martha reached for his hand. We didn't give you money, Ethan. We just gave you love. He nodded. And it turned out to be the most valuable thing I ever had. When power met humility, justice found its voice. If this story of an underdog comeback moved you, share it. Let the world remember kindness may bend, but it never breaks. Would you like me to develop a title and thumbnail idea for this video based on your channel's pillars?